The temperance movement became slightly prominent in 1826 when the American Temperance Society was founded by the evangelical Christians. They promoted abstinence from alcohol, also referred to as teetotalism. Their main motivation was curbing the inconsistency in labor forces. At the time, U.S. and Great Britain were having problems with alcohol consumption and regulation. The average American downed around 7.1 gallons of alcohol a year, while we only drink 2.3 gallons annually in modern U.S. A common practice to lower this number in the 1930s was the act of giving shelter to abused wives, prostitutes, and single mothers. In 1840, the Washingtonians started a smaller movement in Baltimore, Maryland, to stop the mass drinking of alcohol. This society was nearly as effective and ended in 1848. None of these movements were very helpful thus far, such as the Prohibition Party, which was founded in 1869. The Prohibition Party never received more than 2.2% popular vote in any presidential election.
By November of 1874, the temperance movement had gained much more traction. This spiked the founding of the Women's Christian Temperance Movement in Ohio, which gave women more of an influence on society. Along with the birth of Women's Christian Temperance Union came a bunch of new reasons to back up their cause. It was believed that alcohol consumption promoted violence, fueled public chaos, started financial collapse, and created a moral depression. Francis Willard was elected as president of the Women's Christian Temperance Union in 1879. He created reading rooms and coffee houses to help keep drinkers out of bars. Francis made the slogan, "Every land," to show that their goal was to spread abstinence across the nation. In 1887, because of their efforts, schools began educating kids in the dangers of drugs and alcohol through a scientific temperance instruction law.
In 1890, Carrie A. Nation started helping push for the temperance movement's cause. Being brought up in Kentucky, she felt the need to keep her state safe from whatever evils alcohol brought. Unlike many other reformers, she had a much more physical way of changing things. Carrie went from bar to bar to strength of a hatchet. After going to jail multiple times, she became a prominent figure in the movement who many looked up to. Shortly after, the Anti-Saloon League was created in 1894. This group became the leading power fighting for the temperance movement in 1898 with the goal of passing the prohibition no matter what. Wayne Wheeler, the president of the group, used many shady and somewhat unjust ways to try and pass an anti-alcohol law. With the help of news publisher Ernest Charrington, the Anti-Saloon League made many publications and pieces of media that convinced politicians that public wanted prohibition. The efforts supporting the temperance movement for over 70 years were finally heard in 1919. A constitutional amendment was made to ban the consumption of alcoholic beverages in the U.S. Despite this, the rule only lasted 7 years, being repealed by the 24th Amendment in 1933.